In Spanish class, we learn new vocabulary, we learn how to conjugate verbs and ask questions in Spanish, and we learn how to have conversations with other people in Spanish. What I like about Spanish class, I like how interactive it is. You're not just sitting there and taking notes, you actually get to speak with other students, you have to have conversations with them in Spanish. So it really helps you learn the language better when you get to use it, not just write about it. Spanish-speaking countries' culture because there's like a lot of really rich history, like with art and their traditions and their holidays and stuff. Like Mexico has like El Dia de los Muertos, which is like the Day of the Dead, and it's just really fascinating to learn about all those holidays. I think it's important to know a second language like Spanish because, you know, in your life you're going to meet a lot of people that might not always speak same language, and if you know how to speak Spanish, that can help you overcome a lot of language barriers. When I go to study for Spanish, I like to have conversations with my friends in Spanish and like ask them questions in Spanish and have them answer in Spanish, because when you're talking it out, it really sticks in your memory a lot better than just trying to memorize from flashcards. Learning to speak Spanish has helped me a lot outside of school because I start to notice things more. Like when signs are written in Spanish, it's like I understand what they mean. When I go to like Mexican restaurants, I can actually have conversations with the waiters in Spanish and I can understand what they're saying and what it says on the menu. So you don't really realize how much Spanish is around you until you know how to speak it, and then you realize that it's everywhere.
We learn about French culture and the French language. Since it's a small class, we're like friends with each other, and it's such a fun class. I chose to study French because I plan on traveling and like visiting France. I think it's important because it expands like your knowledge of like the world and like the different cultures that are out there. It will benefit me because I plan on traveling, so it's always good to like know another language.
I like how innovative it was, the Roman culture, because it was technologically advanced for that time. If you look at the things that they constructed compared to what other cultures had built at the time, it's monumentally superior to it in a way. You have the aqueducts in that way because that they have a gentle slope in the aqueducts going down for miles. So they were very, very exact with their engineering. I just like how technologically advanced they were, and I also enjoyed the literature because when you hear about the Roman myths, even though many of them are taken from Greek myths, they're still very interesting to hear about. I chose Latin because my sister did it, my grandpa did it, and in general I think it's a very interesting language. It's not what everybody chooses, oh I choose Spanish because it's just a language that I should meet my requirements. I chose Latin because it poses a challenge and because it really gets you in tune with deep culture, because many times people consider cultural things that are high class to be the difficult things to learn. And Latin is not the most difficult thing to learn, but it's still a challenge at times. So I enjoy getting in tune with that kind of culture. I think it's important to study Latin because it's a very fundamental language. It's the thing that all the Romance languages stem from. So it's very fundamental, and it is so commonized that it's almost imperative that you do know at least some Latin in your life. Learning Latin has helped me outside of school because I now recognize Latin structures everywhere, and because of that I can understand things better. I mean, ordinarily when you hear Latin phrases like quid pro quo, and you think, alright, well, I don't know what that means, but it sounds Latin. I mean, it is Latin. But once you actually know what the words mean and know how things fit together, you understand the meaning and you understand what people are talking about, like quid pro quo, one for the other.
Mandarin because mainly, well, I am Chinese, and I wanted to learn more about my culture and ethnic background, so I thought this would be a fun way to do that. Probably one of the things I like the most about the class is it's very cultural oriented, and the kids in the class are so much fun to be around, and we sing a lot of songs. What I like about the Chinese culture is that it goes back many, many years, so it's just so much culture and history, so that's probably one of my favorite parts about the class. I think it's important to study Mandarin Chinese because China is becoming like a really big power in today's world, so if you're going to go into business and trade, it might probably be helpful that you know the language. I'm not really sure how it's helped me. It's been like a very fun class. I think it's one of the best decisions of my life to learn this language. And I think it just helps me like culturally, and it's been a lot of fun.